Hello, welcome back to the channel. I had a first attempt at doing a hardcore guide, and it just turned into about an hour of me waffling on about, I don't know, flipping philosophising about the whole thing. But I'll do a shorter version, and I'll put a bunch of timestamps in. These aren't really in any order. First thing I'd say is, be aware that if you're a new player, be aware that hardcore is there, and leave it well alone until you've played at least a couple of characters around in softcore. Find some builds that you like playing, that you wouldn't mind leveling up from scratch again, and only then consider doing hardcore. Now, that all depends on whether you want to go into hardcore, get to level 100, complete as many of the hardcore achievements as you can, and play it ultra cautious and keep your first hardcore guy alive, as long as possible up to level 100. Or do you want to play hardcore as a kind of crazy roguelike rush where you go in, just pick some character, race through the game, and just think, well, how far can I get before I get taken out? There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's a video game. What you do is you want to have fun. Now, there'll be a percentage of people, I don't know what, maybe a majority percentage of people who would see the potential to lose countless hours they put into a character and a whole bunch of decent gear that character's wearing as not fun, because you're constantly playing the game thinking, I'm not enjoying this, what if I die? That's the thing. See, if you're the way you're wired up is that you don't want to lose your progress. Don't play hardcore. It's not a flipping, I don't play hardcore so I can go look at me. Well, to a certain extent I do, but within the boundaries of my own head. Whereas I'll do something in hardcore and I'll think, yeah, that was pretty good. Like, I don't know, first time I took Lokarr out in hardcore, and trust me, you're in there sweating, you've got your finger poised over the escape key, thinking, I'm just going to get one-shotted, and this level 100, like, with, I don't know, 2 days worth of time invested into it, 3, 4, I don't know, it's just going to be gone. If that sounds like horrific and not fun and not the way anybody should be playing a video game, don't do it, because as far as I know, apart from one weird item that you can get for doing getting a classless character to a particular point in hardcore, level 100, talk to a particular character, you'll get an item reward. I only know about that because I've looked it up. I haven't done that. I haven't managed to get a classless character. Well, it's more because I tried and got bored and then died. Died because I got bored and got a bit slack with my gaming. So does it sound fun? Does the whole point of playing hardcore sound fun? Because apart from some tiny detail that most people are never going to see ever, it's the same game. It's the same classes, it's the same quests, it's the same areas, it's all the same. So you don't play hardcore to see stuff that you're not going to see in softcore. I can't really tell you why you would play hardcore. I know why I do it, and I still can't really explain it. It's because basically I find it fun. It's fun, and I've lost a whole load. I've got quite a few characters to level 100. I've lost probably a lot more on the way there. Now, so that's is it for you? You're the only person who knows whether playing hardcore is for you. I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. Although I think tip 22 in my 22 tips was don't play hardcore, but I was just taking the mick out of myself. Because you know what's going to happen eventually. It doesn't matter how good your character is. You're going to do something either stupid or beyond the limits of what it can cope with, and you're not going to be quick enough on the escape button. So that's that. Will you be playing hardcore with an acceptance of certain death, or will you go in there thinking, I am going to keep this character alive to 100. This is a level 100 hardcore character, and it's a weird build. It's not you're not gonna see this build on other people's websites or YouTubes, because it's a really strange build. I only really attempted this when I had merits and XP pots and mandates and all sorts. But that's, you know, there's other characters you can use. Now, without these tips aren't really in order. Tip 1: stash management. See, I break all my own rules. I say don't keep anything that you might not want to lose. But this is the stuff this guy was using while he was leveling up. And I don't put this character into extreme danger. Alright, it's my Lokarr farming character. So yeah, I put it into that kind of danger. But stash management, on a hardcore character, when you die, you'll lose everything that's equipped, everything that's in your inventory, everything that's in your personal stash. Stuff you won't lose is this stuff. You won't lose that stuff. The stuff that's in shared stash. Now, I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in hardcore, probably, I don't know, 1,000 hours, something like that, I don't know, a lot. And golden rule, keep everything that you want to share with other characters or you don't want to lose, keep it in your shared stash. If you put it in your personal stash and you die, it will be gone. So keep it in there. I've got one panel for all this. I mean, I've got a stash management video up that shows all this stuff, and I bang on about it in that. But that's pretty much that tip. If you're going to play hardcore, don't use that. This is like, don't do as I say. No, don't do as I do as I say. Stockpile quest items that you're never going to use. I think they're just left over. I've never got rid of them. And yeah, I've been running around on this recently, doing a bit of Lokarr farming and some other stuff. He's got, yeah, I use this as a demonstration for transmuting. It's got a full explorer set in there. So there's, yeah, one Lokarr coat, dark ones, hood, gloves, a whole bunch of Lokarr coats. Tip 2, which I kind of went over within the intro: become familiar with the game in softcore, like really familiar with it. Figure out what the bosses do, what some of the named heroes do. So you go into a fight in hardcore, you know what to expect. You know that Krieg will use his kind of shotgun piercing attack if you stay ranged. You know that he'll dump a pile of glop on the floor if you get up close to him. You know how Darius Cronley's fight differs from Krieg's fight, and you know how to deal with both of them, and you can consistently go in there and take them out without worrying. Stuff like that. And you're going to get like that with all of them. Early on in the game, up to level 20, you know, it doesn't really matter if you die, because it doesn't take that long to get to level 20. But again, that comes down to, do you care? Are you playing hardcore for the rush and you know you're going to die soon? Or have you gone in looking at the list of achievements and thought, well, I can get all them. I'm a good player now, I can do this. And there's nothing wrong with admitting to yourself you're a good player. I mean, what's it mean ultimately that you spent a bunch of time playing a video game? It's not like you haven't got to be special to be good at the game. God knows. I mean, I'd say I'm reasonably good at the game, but I'm not an expert, and I forever have people coming on, commenting in my videos, pointing out things that I've got wrong. You know, some of it's significant, some of it's detail, but I'm not going to put myself out there and say I know this inside out. You have to play hardcore, and to play hardcore you have to do X, Y and Z. It's a flipping video game. It's up to you. I like playing hardcore, so I play it. You might hate the idea. If you do, stay well away from it. So there's no, you know, you won't get the hardcore achievements in Steam, but then really who cares if you don't want them? I'm the sort of idiot. I saw all these hardcore achievements in Steam and I thought, yeah, I'm going to get all them. Took me a long time, but I did it. You know, it's the word achievement. It's not really in context, is it? If you like messing about in a video game. I'd say if you go into hardcore and you start playing around, get a character up to level 10, pick a pick a mastery, and start another one. Get 2 going, get 2 up to level 10. And then get your first one up to level 15 or 20, and then get the second one up to 15 or 20. So you've got 2 on the go. So if one of them dies, you think, at least I've got that other one. And then start another one. Start another one while you've got that level 20 or 30 or whatever guy running around. You know, even if you could have the same mastery combo. One at level 40 or 50 and one at level 10 or 20. And you could do hand-me-downs with the gear. Might sound a boring way to do it, but it's just a way to do it. And then you come to playing with a hardcore mentality. So you'd approach every fight, every totem with a bit of planning that you maybe wouldn't use in softcore, and put on as many survival components on your gear as you can. Keep an eye on keeping your damage as high as you can, because a lot of people will think that surviving is more important than dealing damage, but the thing is, if you're killing stuff quickly, it's not damaging you. There are some characters where that doesn't matter. You do a retaliation warlord, for example. You go and have a look at some videos of I mean, my first character that I got to 100 in hardcore was a retaliation warlord. It's boring, but I wanted to get one to 100, and I wanted to get one revered with all the factions I could get them revered with, so I could put mandates and XP pots and merits in stash. And that character funded. Oh, the other thing is this guy here he's called Keeper of Iron, but he's not really documented in the game that much. You can buy iron blocks from him that you put in stash, and then other characters can take them out of stash, sell them back to him. Of course, that's only really useful if you've got a merit, so you can come straight here. So that's, use merits when you can. Use merits, use XP pots, use leveling gear, and have a hardcore mentality. If you want to play hardcore, I hesitate to say properly because I don't want to lecture people on how to play a video game properly. But if you want to make them, get the furthest you can get, don't run around with a softcore mentality, bouncing from one fight to the next. When your skills are on cooldown, and there's all sorts of ways you can make it harder for the game to kill you. And in hardcore, you've got to maximise that. You've got to make sure you make it really hard for the game to kill you. There's no shame in escaping the game. I'm talking about doing that. Hit that escape button, pause, and if you look at what's on the screen, if your health's down here somewhere and you've got a bunch of skills and I'd say if it's lower than the middle and you've been in a big fight and you look at everything around you and think, I'm not going to get out of this, do this exit to main menu, right? Because you might be halfway through a quest, you might have run a long way around the map, and you might think, oh, I don't have to do all that again. Yeah. What do you want to lose? 10 minutes progress on a quest, or 15 minutes progress running around the map and not getting to the next rift gate, or however many hours you've put into that character so far. Because this is what will happen, and this will happen. You will feel that sensation of, I can make it, right? You'll hit escape, or you won't, but say you'll hit escape and you'll look and you'll think, oh, I can make it, and you hit escape again and that character's gone and there's nothing you can do about it. If you hit escape and do exit to main menu, breathe a big sigh of relief, go back in, try and figure out why the hell you got into the predicament you got into, and then redo it, and keep your finger poised over that escape button. There is no shame in escaping the game. You're welcome. I mean, that's a bit cringe, but yeah, that's what it means. So one thing you can do is, if you're not sure about hardcore, and even if you're familiar with the game, you might not be that confident that you can put a build together that will get through hardcore. Go and find a build guide for a resilient character that doesn't rely on excessive random loot drops. For example, if you find a really good build, but the set it's wearing is like a 5-piece legendary level 94 set, forget that, because you might the character might be okay leveling up, but if ultimately whoever's put the build out there is saying this is the set it relies on to be good, you're better off maybe finding something that relies on the odd monster infrequent, which you know you can go and farm, or something that you could get a blueprint for. And you might run around, and admittedly you've got to get to quite a high level before stuff like that will drop, but you might be stumbling around on a character that's kind of okay but just about not quite cutting it, and you'll get a decent blueprint drop. Read that straight away. That's the other thing on hardcore. When you get blueprints drop, read them straight away, because what was really frustrating is if you get a decent blueprint drop and you look at it and you think, oh, I've been waiting all my life for that, and then 2 minutes later you die before you read the blueprint. I sound like someone who had that happen, don't I? It's because I am someone who had that happen. It's really frustrating. It's one of those gaming moments where you know, you think, that's it, I'm going to uninstall this now because that sucks. So don't let that happen to you. And that's it really. I mean, I could withdraw on a lot. Like I said, the first attempt I did at doing this guide, it was just about an hour of me getting philosophical and talking a load of old nonsense. But there's other things I could tell you. There's things that other people can tell you. I'm assuming this video might get quite a few views, and there'll be people with different attitudes to hardcore. Feel free, stick some stuff in comments if you think it will help new-ish players who are considering doing hardcore, and you've got some really good tips, particularly stuff I haven't even mentioned. Stick it in the comments. Right, I'll tag some footage in of this guy killing Lokarr just to prove I'm not talking out my hat. And that'll be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was useful. It's kind of different from the usual stuff, and I've just been talking about things, but that's what this one was all about. Catch you all in the next one. I've not had a single fight against Lokarr where it's looked like it was going to go wrong. Today could be the day. Yeah, it's that point where he dies that I always seem to lose health. Look at that go, look. It's got this stupid cinder wind devil thing going round. That needs to go away. Right. Lokarr's coat.